Well, it's a couple days later, and the reason why the bandsaw wasn't cutting straight is because the blade was dull. So I replaced the blade. I happen to have one hanging on a shelf in stock, and I went out because it ruined my last piece of aluminum, 2-inch aluminum. I had to wait for after Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year's, and actually today is December 29th. But anyway, I bought a 2-inch offcut solid aluminum. I like to have the stock hanging around, and they had this, I think it's 18-inch long piece, so I picked it up. But I need to, do the machining process on this, machine it down, and then lop off a 33 millimeter piece. And you can see here, right here, I've got the all the other pieces made, and I chamfered the edges, so there's no sharp edges on them. And there's 7 of them, and of course I need 8 to do what I'm going to do. So anyway, got a new blade in the bandsaw, and got another piece of this, and I'm gonna have to continue my machine this all up and cut it. And yeah, so that was the problem with the bandsaw anyway, why it ruined my last little piece, so I couldn't get my last little 33 millimeter piece off. It was cut on an angle and actually ruined the piece, and it went the wrong direction. It cut in. If it had cut out, I could have put it in a lathe and machined the high spot off, but it went that way, so it was less than 33 millimeters. So anyhow, you got this, Metal Supermarkets, yes. And yeah, so continuing on with the project. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, so here we are, just doing the finishing cut. Doing the finishing cut on this. As you can see right here, just doing the finishing cut. There it is. Bring that out and across. There we are. Bring that piece out. Yeah. Back in a second. So I'm going to change out the tooling to this guy right here. Change out the tooling. Pop this guy out. That's for doing the straight cuts. And I'll put him up here. I'll pop this guy down in here like this. And we're going to do a slide this back a little bit. We're going to do a little cleanup cut here. Going to do a little cleanup here. So we can bring this in. Going to do a little cleanup cut here, and I'll just bring it. I just want to clean this up. Okay. All right, and I just got to change direction on this thing. There we go. And that's just going to clean that up. Actually, I'm going to stop it. I'll just run it in by hand. I'll just turn it in by hand rather than doing auto feed. That'll clean that one up. That's it. That's that cleaned up. Turn this off. Turn that off. And take this fixture out. Put this fixture in. Just to do a little chamfer on there. You see, I'm just going to put a little chamfer on the edge of that. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then I should clean that up a little bit further. Hang on a second. I'm going to clean this up with a file. And you got to be careful using a file on something like this. Really careful, okay? Especially when you get up near the chuck when you're doing it. But this is far out, but you still have to be careful. You just have to, I just want to touch it with the lathe to clean it up a bit. Touch it with a file, I should say. And you just go like this. All you do, that's it. And that just puts a little chamfer on there. I could have done the whole thing with this, but I need to change the whole angle. And that's a good enough angle on there, and then I can clean it up with the file. But anyway, I was just kind of showing you the machining process to cleaning this up, which I showed you before. and facing this one end off. And then I'm going to go over to the bandsaw, set it at 33 mil and cut it off. And then I'll put it in, take this piece out, chuck that in the other way, and face and chamfer the other side. But I just wanted you to the different tooling. You know, there's this tool for facing and this tool for doing cuts, and then off the edge you can chamfer. So that's kind of how that goes. Let me get this straightened up here. Yeah. That's how that, let me back this up a little bit further. Yeah. Let me try and get this angle a little nicer there. So yeah, so that's what I was doing there. Just showing the different tooling. I'll probably just leave that one in because the next one, well, I'm gonna have to face it. I can take this one out. Take this one out because I'm gonna want to chamfer that face it first and then chamfer it. And I'll just put this back up here. I gotta clean this area up. There's a lot of stuff I gotta clean up here. But anyway, I'm going to take this piece out of the lathe. And you never leave the key in the chuck, ever. Just get in the habit of taking the key out of the chuck. Because if you ever turn that thing on with that in there, you know, it's not going to be a good day. It's going to be a bad day in Black Rock, as the movie is. That's a good movie, Bad Day in Black Rock. Awesome movie. Awesome guys in there. Anyway, so, yeah. So I'll be back. I'll face this, and, you know, it's all part of the thing. I don't know. I got to put all this together and edit it and everything. And, yeah. So I'll be back. Here we are, cutting it with the new blade. You can see that, yeah. And the new blade's cutting it straight. And then we'll take it over back over to the lathe and finish her off. But yeah, so that's, this is just some just basic machining stuff. I mean, there's nothing too technical about it, but I did some milling on these parts here. That holds the shovel onto the rack right there, and I'm going to make for the two-door. See, I've got my rolling box up there. For the two-door, I'm going to make a similar thing. I actually got I got a tan top. I'm going to have to do a little unboxing for that. I got my tan top for the two-door. It's yeah, it's about the same color as it's different. It's different than this dark tan color of this trash bag. But anyway, I'm gonna make the shovel mount because the aluminum one broke when I was on the Trans-Taiga a couple of years ago, and I want to make this. I got the rubber pieces. Those rubber pieces, I got those, and I'm just gonna make the machine out the pieces right. I don't have my tripod. Machine the metal pieces that the bolts are going through there, and then TIG weld everything up. Yeah, so I wonder how we're going along here with this. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's going slow. I have the spring tension set up pretty high on it. I should probably turn the light on a bit so you can see. I use on aluminum. I use WD-40. You don't have to use any lube at all, really, but I use WD-40. It seems to work good for aluminum. And she's cutting straight. Yeah, she's cutting straight. Anyway, we'll get back over onto the I gotta clean up my TIG table. This is my TIG welding table, or just a general welding table. Anyway, yeah, I want to take the two-door down the Taiga again. That was a fun trip. Anyway, let me flip this. Oh, why won't that flip around? Flip that around, flip that back in, and we'll get the piece mounted back, chucked up back in there. Once it's cut off the bandsaw. Be right back. Okay, so we've got our piece. Rough cuts finished on this end. It's rough on this one, and it's looks to be it's about 33. Yeah, almost 34. So I can almost 34. I can knock a pretty good chunk off that, facing it off. So that's what we'll do. Clean it up a little bit. Chuck it up in the lathe. You just kind of get it, just grabbing the jaws, and then you snug it down, and then you run it. Yeah, look at the back. You know the back's true, so you can see it through the chuck jaws, and it's dead straight. So that's wobbling a bit because the bandsaw is cut flat, but not, not within thousandths of an inch. So anyway, we're gonna face it because it's tight now. If I can find the there it is. This one. Let's get 0 on here. That's right there. Oh yeah, it's tight. Okay. Make sure you keep cloths and everything away from the rotating part there. And yeah, you can see we're gonna face it right now. I just bring the tool up to the part. There we go. I'm just hand cranking it in now. I'm not using the auto feed. Take a touch more off. There we go. Now there's I could actually take more off there, as you can see. And if you if I measure this, let's measure it over here. Oh yeah, I can take more off this. If I want it to be close to what these are, yeah, these are like 32. And right now this is at 33. Yeah, 33.9. So I can take quite a bit off this still yet. So that's what we're gonna do. Take a bit more off. That's a good piece right there. Take a bit more off. Take a bit more off there. Oh, not that much. That'll probably do it right there. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Now put a chamfer on it. Take this piece off here. Mount this one on. Bring it up, make sure everything's going to clear. Put a bit of a chamfer on that. And you got to be very careful. I hesitate to do this and show it but if you're careful and you're just touching it, it's fine. Using a file. Gotta be careful. You don't want to slip. That's it. Very gentle touches. Realize that chuck's spinning and you don't want that to come in contact with the file. Yeah. If you're very careful, you can do it. I don't recommend doing that when the thing's spinning. But if you're careful and you're just doing a little bit, and you've done it a million times in the past before, and you know what you're doing, if you don't do that. Don't use the file on the spinning piece in the chuck. And there we go. And it is 32 mil. Yeah, it's 32.3. 32.3 mil, which is great. And there's and there they all there are here. There's now all 8 of them. And I will explain what exactly I'm doing with those in relation to that Roam Adventure box and those solar panels that I did the unboxing. This is all part of how I'm going to hold this thing on top of those adventure boxes. All of this. So, anyway, let me just Wild Bill out.